Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, 92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. AC/DC kicking off the show here. Philly, Joe, and Kirby at 6:08.
Yeah, Halloween looking pretty good, as I mentioned. Tonight's low down to -1, but the wind shouldn't be too much of a problem. But there was a news story, I guess, the last couple of days, looking ahead to the forecast, that the kids might have to still layer going out there tonight. The younger kids especially, yeah.
Chilly. But it's pretty ideal. Like, man, if I was a kid, I would be pumped to go out tonight because, like, realistically, there's no snow on the ground. So
yeah, it's a nice Halloween. Like, I think there's no rain, there's no snow in the forecast.
No.
You know, if you have to throw a hoodie under your costume or even something a little heavier, no one's complaining about that. It's not going to be full snowsuits underneath the costumes.
No, I hang out outside over the last few years doing it because my dog Stewie, he'll just go, he just gets rangy every time somebody comes to the door. So it's like, boom, right to the window and bark, 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 the whole night. So better that I just stand outside, close the blinds, and take care of it. But I'm thinking this year of adding a little bar feature. I was thinking about maybe, for some of the parents out there, I think this is okay to do. Just pour a little.
They're walking, so
yeah. Pour a little shot of Sambuca. That's going to be my call, a little Italian liqueur, warm things up for you. I was thinking about beer perhaps, but then I don't know anybody's going to walk around. A few people with a cold beer.
On a night
on
where
a cooler night.
I like the shot.
Better off with a shot.
I think so, eh?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a feature tonight for the parents in my area.
You are
if they want.
outstanding. You have the best Halloween house. I would put you up there.
I told you I don't. I appreciate it, but I don't because I never dress up. And I love Halloween, but I'm not a dresser up. The yard, there's just nothing in the yard.
Dude, you're handing out full chocolate bars, and now you're handing out booze to the parents. You are up there. I'm telling you right now.
Nothing beats Dan and Trudy and those stuffies. I'm telling you, it's still the talk of the town.
I'm like jealous of, like, I honestly feel like I have FOMO tonight as somebody who does not have children. Because, like, that's so fun. Halloween, toting the kids around from house to house. And,
I like handing it out. Like, our kids will go out with their buddies this year. I think my wife will wander around about 25 yards back from the kids, or whatever. But I always take on the handing, like you,
I love
handing out the candy. I do enjoy that. And listen, if you're going to be handing out shots of Sambuca, I wouldn't transcona. I feel like I have to match. Maybe I'll get some King cans and hand those out.
Well, you've got a little bit more on your plate than me. You're dressed up as Mike O'Shea. You're going to be signing autographs. I don't sign autographs. I'm just going to be pouring shots.
Maybe we'll be, what do you call that? I could offer a beer to shotgun. I could get a big funnel in the driveway. Let the parents do that.
You gave me a beer when I came trick-or-treating that one year at your house.
Yeah, but that was one he had left in the fridge. He's talking about actually planning.
In the driveway.
Right,
yes.
right.
Having a kegger set up there. Why don't you open up a beer store?
Keg stands on the front yard.
Philly, Joe, Kirby.
Philly, Joe and Kirby
podcast.
The Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
Hey guys, it's Karen with the Y. I know it's been a while. Anywho, just got back from bowling, my big bowling league Halloween party tonight. Good times. I just want to say I'm super happy. I cannot wait to wake up tomorrow morning and hear your show. Have a good night and good morning. Goodbye.
Bowling league Halloween party. I wonder how that would go. That sounds fun.
That sounds like a good time. A bowling league. I've thought about getting into one. I mean, it's
why
a good
not?
time.
Yeah, it's fun.
I want to do it once with the staff. I thought it'd be a great staff party. I like it.
Part of the problem is people are like, bowling, we've done that before. Bowling never fails. No one ever comes back from a staff bowling event and goes, oh, that sucked. No, it's always fun.
Everybody can do it, too. That's why I figured, golf, which we like. Not everybody would like to play, but bowling, anybody can throw a ball.
And there's always pizza. There's usually pizza and beer involved.
Yeah.
So, good on you.
League might be too much for me. I don't know if I can commit once a week to a league.
Well, and you
I
gotta
used to curl, right? So I league play now, but once in a blue moon, that'd be fun.
And you got to get the wrist guard if you're in a league. That wrist,
Well,
the
not
wrist
only the
support,
wrist guard, you got to get yourself a cool shirt.
the cool shirt.
With the button down.
And you can't be getting the shoes they give you when you get there if you're in a league. You got to get your own shoes.
Oh, that's the best. And when you
let's
come
go.
to show
With your
up
own
at
ball.
with the ball in the
with a bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big
that
slice
is
on it with-
Big
next
slice.
level.
Big slice on the ball with fire around
I
it.
think we could get a sponsorship for the team.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Vinny, Dr. Hockey. Typically pretty hard on the Jets. But we like hearing from him during the season. But here we got some response to his latest comments.
Hey guys, listening to your podcast the other morning, some character named Vinny was calling in about the Jets, if they only win a certain amount of games, he's a fan. You know, diehard fans, they don't care if the Jets win or lose. And Vinny, I don't think the Jets are going to care if you're cheering for them or not. But as diehard fans, we're true. The win or lose, we still cheer for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. The one thing people need to know is he is the one hockey analyst who gave himself a nickname, but also does not watch the games. He watches highlights.
Well, not
after.
even really the highlights. Like it's a YouTube rendition.
Well, it's
rundown.
actually
They are highlights. He just, I don't think, has realized.
it's
that,
actually on YouTube extended highlights. Like
Yes.
they put the game like 12
But they are
minutes.
highlights.
They are highlights.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
What a guy.
Okay, Wilkes. Joe, this is your area. Like there's been some speed limit changes in that area.
Yeah. So West Perimeter side, it goes up to 90. But from Kenniston to that point, it was 80. Now it's been reduced to a little bit of 80 and a lot of 70. And the funny thing is I drive it pretty much every day. And you wouldn't even know that the speed limits changed because some people were going under and some people were going over. But
Okay. Confusing.
to be honest, the flow seems to be a little bit better.
Okay, well that's good news.
Good morning, PJK. Going to throw this out there for the guy on the phone this morning that moved to Charleswood recently complaining about Wilkes going down to 70. The reason being is because residents were complaining that around Elmhurst and I believe the other street is Fairmont, etc., too many car accidents.
Yep.
People are stupid. They don't know how to drive. So basically, the easiest solution, instead of widening the road or anything like that, is to slow down the speed. So that's what the geniuses at City Hall decided to do. There you go.
There's a
Have a
lot
good
of
day, everybody. Let's go Jets.
There's a lot of people upset with that area, but what you have to understand is it's one lane each way. So if you're turning off on those streets he mentioned, you've got room for like 3 cars. And if people are flying, like it's hard to put on the brakes in some cases, right? So either way, there's a lot of pissed off people in that
Okay.
area right now.
Well, and I appreciate that call. And Joe, you seem to be all over that. So you can be our correspondent for the area. Keep us up to date, okay?
Back to you.
Back to you, Phil.
In other news,
Well, that's what happens, right? With
Yeah.
with TV news packages,
I
there's
love
the
it.
reporter
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
on the corner as cars are whizzing by. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joe. Okay, Motorhead guy. You're never going to guess what band he wants to see spotlighted on our music spotlights.
boy.
Of course, it's Ozzy this week.
Hey, Philly, Joe, and Kirby, it's Motorhead Guy. I got something to say. Y'all did Supertramp week last week, and, you know, Supertramp is great and all, but, like, where the is the goddamn Motorhead week? Motorhead is got to be, like, probably one of the most, like, influential bands ever. And you're telling me you can't do a Motorhead week? Like, can we do that? Please? That would be awesome. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great day. Peace.
Over to our Motorhead correspondent, Joe Aiello. Anything in the hopper, Joe? I mean,
I wrote it down. I'm going to pass it along to our music department. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Guilty. We'll wrap with Guilty. Apparently ran into our good buddy Joe Aiello yesterday.
I had a nice little lunch today at Frankie's. That was nice. Got to shake the boss's hand, and we had an awesome meal. A Philly Curbster. Have you guys ate there yet? Obviously you have, right?
No, never.
I mean, I'd like to see that tomato sauce all over the Red Dragon's dragon face. Come on. Like, you guys, It's really good food. Sorry, but I'm spoiled on the Italiano food now.
Too bad I'm not
So
going.
thanks for having us, Joe. It was great. My guy that I went out for lunch with enjoyed it. Awesome food. He just was over the moon. So peace out. Do you guys
Appreciate it.
deliver to Glen Bay?
Oh, do you deliver out? Is that Gimli? Is that
No, we don't. There's third-party options. I don't know if it goes that far. I doubt it. But yeah, it was good to see Guilty. I always like running into people that, take part in the show.
And yes, Kirby and I have both been there. And yes, I get tomato sauce in my beard every time I'm there.
There was a time I'm pretty sure I was living off of the arancini.
Oh, yeah, there's enough vegetarian options for the Vegetarian
Yes,
Express.
yes.
Vegetarian
Well,
Express.
We love it.
Very nice. Your next chance to play. Who the hell is that? On the way.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Open invite to Kirby on the Boston Pizza text line 762-555. Come hang out with us tonight. Carberry is only halfway to the Red Barn in Moosomin. We have a fire pit table, Bluetooth speaker for tunes, adult drinks, and my wife does a charcuterie board, smokes a cream cheese brick, and other snacks. It is a good time. And this all takes place in our garage, a slash driveway, LOL, a thumbs up.
Here's the question, Kirby. What time does that party get going? Because this kid,
Yeah.
she goes to bed
Oh,
early.
boy.
It's 6:30 last night, she
Well,
told us.
it wasn't. I had shut things down at 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
probably
You
asleep
were,
by 7:30.
Off the grid.
But tonight's Halloween, and that sounds like a good time. I was saying earlier, I have FOMO as somebody who does not have children, that this is the night of the year where it's a highlight as a parent to see all the cuties dressed up and out trick-or-treating. And
You should take over the trick-or-treating, the Halloween thing from that senior citizen in your building. I
Yeah.
know you guys have had beef before. I know she's accused
old
you.
French lady.
She's accused you of trying to cut in on her social club activities, which includes handing out Halloween candy. Just barge down there with your own candy and make it like a her versus you. I got my own candy. You're not the only one who gets to experience this. I think it's time.
listen, yesterday I held the door open for her with her walker, and she didn't even look at me in the face.
Oh, yeah. Because you're a threat.
That woman does not say anything to me. She doesn't look at me. Even if I try to help her.
Could you not possibly just pull down a lawn chair, go sit with her? She's obviously got to sit there. She can't leave tonight between 5:30 and probably 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's you sit down there in a chair. She's got no purpose but to talk to you now.
Well, and she probably won't because I don't understand French.
She's got to speak English.
Well, if she
She's
does,
just
she
not
refuses.
talking to you, Kirby. She's just
She
not
just
talking to you.
refuses to.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just claims not to speak English when Kirby's around.
I swear to God, this woman does not like me. I don't know what it is, but
Is there an election process in the building for what she does?
she is the oldest resident, though.
Start
I've
a
asked the
campaign.
caretaker about her. She's been there since the building was, put up.
They built the building around her.
I swear to God. But yeah, she'll be handing out candy tonight, and so
You could help her.
I
Phil's right.
don't know what you've done to offend this, what sounds like an unbelievable lady.
Yes.
But you got to patch that up.
I'm telling you, she is very intimidating looking. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got Carberry. If you want,
Yeah.
Go
it's
on
a bit of
out.
a trek.
oh, the food
but
sounds great.
Not that far for a good charcuterie board.
I love it.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Roll it.
Go, Joe. Go.
Yeah,
man,
buddy.
You can feel that driveway over at Casa Aiello tonight for Halloween is going to be bopping.
I'm going to get snapped standing outside there.
It's fun. It is fun to stand in hang out in the driveway. I do the same thing, and hand out the candy that way. Then the kids don't got to come up the step and everything else. Just makes it easier for them.
You know what? You gave me a great idea. I didn't even think about this. Getting the speaker revved up, as a few people have suggested, playing some tunes out there. I stand outside, so Yeah, I should get the tunes going. Karaoke tonight. Maybe a Halloween theme playlist.
I might have to come by.
Yep, you're
Give
always
me
welcome.
a microphone. I could put on a show while you hand out
Whoa,
candy.
whoa, back up. Where did this turn into a Kirby performance? I just heard that you're going to be playing Halloween music. Now suddenly this is morphed into, give me that microphone.
I said
It's my night.
karaoke, and all of a sudden, I will say this. I don't know if I have enough time to get one of those benchboard signs made that I can put in the lawn that said also featuring tonight performance shows at 7, 8, and 9.
Well, that's a little late, Joe.
No, 4, 5, and 6.
We're doing kids matinees.
For those young kids who like to get out for Halloween nice and early, put your hands together.
Sorry we couldn't get Fred Penner, but we got the second world's best child entertainer.
Oh my God, I'm telling you,
Samantha
it
Kirby.
would be a show, okay?
Let me tell you, and we're getting lots of ideas for your playlist this morning because I don't know if you know this, but right here, PJK, 92.1 City, taking your request for Halloween tunes to get you in the mood this morning.
You got the VH one coming up?
Right now.
Yeah,
Did
perfect.
this come in on the Boston Pizza
Yeah, it
text
did.
line?
No name, but great choice of a song.
Okay. We don't know if Kirby's going to be doing this one tonight in Joe's driveway, but I could see her doing a little DLR.
Yeah, baby.
Happy Halloween. Running with the devil, baby. 92.1 City.
Philly, Joe, Kirby.
Philly, Joe, and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly, Joe, and Kirby podcast.
A good friend of the show, Nathan MacIntosh. Welcome to the 92.1 City studios this morning. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
It's always good to see you.
I gotta say, I've seen you a couple of times now at Rumors. Like, legit, one of my favorite comedians.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, always a good time.
She
Thank
said,
you.
though, that since she's seen you twice, she's not coming to see you for a while again.
Good, please.
I need a break. It's too much. My stomach hurts from laughing.
I appreciate it. No, but thank you for coming to the shows. Yeah, you guys can tell I'm not good with compliments.
No, no.
You know what's so funny? If you would have been like, I've seen 2 of your shows and they're the worst things I've ever seen, I'd be like, oh, are they? But you're like, hey, I really like them. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, thanks.
No, it's true.
And
Very
the
Canadian way
guys
to
were
accept
complimenting you on your outfit.
Well, I
and
like the coat.
You weren't handling that well either.
No, I'm very weird with compliments,
Yeah.
but I appreciate it.
What
I got
color
a
is
poppy
that?
in-
Brown?
We'd call this, I think we'd call this, brown
Rust.
or
Rust.
rust or
a burnt brown,
burnt brown.
orange.
What my hair looked like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Whatever it would be.
As long as it's not poo brown. Nobody wants the poo brown coat,
No,
right?
why would anybody? No, that'd be horrible.
not a good brown.
But you were talking about you wanted a leather trench coat.
Well, I've always wanted to bring back the trench coat, whether it's leather.
You know why?
Why?
He sometimes channels Steven Seagal from
Yeah.
the 80s in those movies. I'm not joking.
That was a 3/4 length leather, the
Yes.
Seagal leather.
But then you got to slick the hair back into a ponytail.
right, I can't
You
pull
also have
that
to
off.
go to Russia and talk to Putin. You have to sit there and be like, he's a pretty good guy with your arms crossed like this.
Oh, yeah. And make
Like you're gonna do a keto sometime.
a lot of really bad movies.
You have
that-
to be in a blues band. Seagal's a maniac.
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Phil couldn't even hyperextend his own elbow. Never mind somebody else's. Those were the moves.
So how are things, Nathan? What's new with you, man? I know your social media. I love your Instagram. You're
Thanks.
all over everything. Like, what's going on with you?
I just put out a special this year called Down with Tech. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's an hour about tech stuff and why I think tech people are horrifying and AI is going to end us all. Other than that, I don't know. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of waiting to see. I live in New York now.
Right.
I'm originally from Nova Scotia, but kind of waiting to see what happens Tuesday. And past that, I'm doing okay personally. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of Americans are feeling that way.
Yeah.
A lot of Canada's watching. What's going to go, right?
Yeah, it's going to be.
I was saying this to Drew in the car. If I ever ran for prime minister, which I'm not going to do, right? Because my God, who needs this scrutiny? Every move you make, you're ruining the country every time you do anything.
Where did you go on vacation? Like,
Where
it
did you
does-
go on vacation?
Yeah.
What kind of do you put Supreme gas in your car? All that, whatever. The my only platform, one of them, I'm banning American news. You cannot
man.
get it in Canada. Shut it off. You have to pay for it. It's like you have to pay $80 a month if you want to watch it. It's
Yeah.
pay-per-view. Get it out of here. I would love to see where we end up as a country in 10 years if we did not watch America. I'm serious.
Interesting.
Nobody would be talking about leather trench
No,
coats.
you're damn right. It would be right
Nobody would be up here being like, I need a leather trench coat. For what?
You know, since you don't like compliments, it might be the perfect job for you. Most politicians are getting complimented too often.
That's a good point.
Could be perfect for you.
Good point.
That's true. I could take the abuse. Just standing in a room, they're like,
Yes.
well, what the price of eggs? Okay. That's solely my job, is it? That's me. Let me run down. Let me personally take eggs out of a chicken.
You get your own bumper stickers. It'd be great. Good
Yeah,
marketing.
honk if you hate what I'm doing. Everybody all day just.
Oh boy.
But anyways, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, and
Your,
go ahead, Kirby.
Your
Yeah.
tech bit about Chat GPT had me rolling, and I mean, I was explaining it to these guys the other day about how like even students are using it to now write like things for school and stuff like that. Like it's pretty scary.
I do think it's a scary deal. Yes, people are just asking ChatGPT to write their entire, essays or whatever it is, and just kind of go. If we don't, this is such a long-term deal, right? But if you don't think at all, if you do not use your brain and you just ask this thing to answer all of your questions, one day, right, we're all just going to be big piles of sauce covered in butter.
It's terrifying.
Not thinking.
Have you actually checked? Because I know people that have used it to help them write a speech for a wedding and such, and all you have to do is say, hey, my best friend's wedding, I need a speech, and boom, here's a speech for you. Have you ever looked into it as far as a bit to see, will they write jokes for you?
It will write jokes for you,
will.
but absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
One of the only good parts about being a human person is being able to think.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I'm serious. If you just sit down and be like, write this, do this. Like, I talk about this in the thing, but like, there's a commercial for ChatGPT or AI that's a dad asking it to write his speech for his daughter's wedding.
Right.
I can't think of a sadder thing
Yes.
than a father
Yes.
not having anything
Yes.
to say about his own daughter.
Good point.
That is horrific.
I'm not gonna lie. If I found out my father used that to write it, like I would probably not have a father.
I've always loved you, Cheryl, says ChatGPT. I mean, it's horrifying. So this too, my best friend got a speech, buddy. No matter how bad your speech is, give it. Doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what. My father turns 84 in another week. He's never told me he loves me. I'd like him to start working with GPT. Just how do I tell my kid I love him and see what AI says.
He's also never had the talk with Joe.
No, he's never
either.
had the talk.
The talk.
God.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
Joe's
It's a
waiting
long
on a
time now, yeah.
So ChatGPT, don't write
It's
it
a long
completely
time.
off. It could help some
Yeah,
families.
well, you could go to ChatGPT yourself and ask for the talk.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's
Throwdown Thursday.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Because it's Halloween today, we're just grinding out the matchup today. Like how to do the perfect Thursday throwdown for Halloween. Who to put up. Because we've had so much like Jason versus Michael Myers in the past. We've had Pennywise in the mix for Throwdown Thursday already. And we're like, well, how do we include, several different terrifying Halloween characters? The girl from the well in the ring, or that crawls out of the TV. She's been involved in Would You Rather Wednesday and maybe even the Throwdown at some point. So we landed on this. And I'll give Kirby credit for this one. And Joe, I think you nailed it. This is going to be a landslide, but we've got two famous faces. Leatherface versus what's the other one?
Ghostface.
Ghostface
from
Scream.
Scream, yeah, the franchise.
So the bad guy from Scream versus the bad guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's an interesting matchup.
Your matchup, Curbs, you start.
Well, I guess it all depends on the setting or whatever the circumstance is, but
So if it's on Leatherface's home turf, like that creepy town he lives in and that beaten up house, and there's I feel like there's a barn involved,
there's traps and stuff that he's got.
So you're saying it depends on home field advantage?
But at the same time, Ghostface is I grew up in that era of man, I remember that mask being such a huge Halloween costume when I was in high school and stuff. And that killer is pretty psychological. The phone calls and the stalking and
they even made a parody. A bunch of parody movies.
Yeah, they
with
were
that.
funny. They were funny.
You're going to go with Ghostface.
Yeah.
The iconic
You're
mask.
taking
I
Ghostface?
gotta say Ghostface.
Do you think his stalking tactics are going to have any effect on Leatherface?
I honestly
luck.
think that the mind games are going to be an advantage.
Okay.
I'm going leather. Yeah, that's what Thursday Throwdown's all about. I'm going Leatherface. No trouble at all with Ghostface. That chainsaw, and he's just, he's not all there, Leatherface.
Well,
He doesn't look all there, I'm
so
going to be honest.
you're going with Leatherface.
Yeah, I am.
I'm going to just throw this out there. Ghostface is bringing a knife to a chainsaw fight is what he's doing. And I'll tell you right now, if you look at just the costumes alone, it's not very aerodynamic. Ghostface cape, his outfit.
That's true,
right? It's
yeah.
got the hood on it, so yeah, he can deal with some temperatures. But how about taking a look at Leatherface? If the fight happens outside, I'm guessing it would.
Probably will.
The one thing about Leatherface that I've never understood is he does wear the apron to try and keep his dress shirt, I guess, clean from blood. But he wears a tie.
Yes, he
and
does.
that goes with the mask. The hair's a little unkempt. The chainsaw. I mean, I'm going with Leatherface all day long in this battle if it was a physical battle.
Yeah.
Psychologically, Kirby, there's probably something a little twisted if you look at a guy like Leatherface going in, but maybe I'll give you that with Ghostface. But a physical matchup, I'm going chainsaw over a knife and a cloak.
Okay.
So you think if Ghostface could somehow trick Leatherface, that would be like play some kind of a mind game with him? That would be his only chance.
Yeah, I don't think the elevator's going all the way up there in Leatherface. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Then you'll fire up the chainsaw and it's
Plus,
game over.
Leatherface just sounds tough.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, you know what?
The
And
leather is intimidating.
I'll even give you a local sidebar, okay? Because of my background in wrestling, there was a local wrestler at the time named Rick Patterson that took the Leatherface gimmick and used it in Japan, became a big star as a wrestler named Leatherface.
Wild.
So there you go.
Okay, weigh in. And we've got some, you can win some tickets with Throwdown Thursday today. We've got, and this is just announced. Very exciting. Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, and Jimmy Carr, the two Jimmys working the same thing. So a double bill on January 3rd. So just to start off the new year, this is coming to Canada Life Center, and tickets are going to go on sale tomorrow at Ticketmaster. So
That's awesome.
We're giving them away before you can beat the box or before they go on sale.
That's right. Facebook page, or you can text us. Throwdown Thursday. Who would win? The Battle of the Faces. Ghostface versus Leatherface.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Here comes Joe's part.
Get ready to shine, buddy.
Werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. His hair was perfect.
It's outstanding.
Draw blood.
That was fun.
Great song.
Yeah, it is. And keep those requests coming. Boston Pizza text line 762-555. I will say this, we're getting piles, like for example, Alice Cooper. We just played Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Frankenstein last hour.
Feed my Frankenstein.
What did I call it?
I don't even
Welcome.
know.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Cooper's getting a lot of requests, obviously, because, it's more than just a theme for Alice
That's
Cooper.
right. And we're getting the zombie requests as well. And
No, we're not going to play Cranberry Zombie.
Wow. Wow.
You're making the call. No, I meant Rob Zombie.
Okay, Rob Zombie is
yeah.
fine. I just
Yes, there's a lot of people looking for the cranberries on Halloween. Kirby.
One
You nailed
person
it.
did text it in on the Boston Pizza text line, but the backstory is, Kirby, how was your trip to Nashville? It was fantastic, except the fact that every bar I went into, there was some musician or band that would give us their version of the Cranberry Zombie, and I never, ever want to hear that song again.
Is that what? I
Joe
didn't hear
gets
that
me.
story.
Yes.
You don't hear a lot of stories.
No, I haven't heard this story.
I heard it.
So glad.
So when I saw the request, that was the story.
It just, it's just, I need some time away from the song, okay? 'Cause
yeah,
it
well,
just
the listeners are
aggravates me.
speaking, and they all want to hear it today.
Don't even.
We've got completely useless trivia on the way with tickets to go to the Great Outdoor Comedy Fest on the line for that one.
Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you what. Somewhere today you got to play Doc and Dream Warriors because it's coming up everywhere.
That's the banger. You know
Dockin'.
the 9 o'clock banger. You know who else requested it? Iron Mike.
Iron Mike.
Before I left the building today, he's like, Philly, come here for a second. I'm like,
is he pulling rank on everybody else?
I'm like, wait a minute. Is this a meeting, Mike? Like, what do you mean, come here for a minute? So I did.
Did you tell him that to save it for the double meeting today?
I tried. I'm like, I'm not having another meeting, Mike. But he goes, no, it's not a meeting. I just, for tomorrow, can I make a request for the banger? And I said, well, you're the boss. Of course you can, Iron Mike. And he requested the Dawkins song.
Thank God it's a good one that's coming up a lot, eh? Because, boy.
That would suck, eh? If it wasn't any good.
Philly, Joe, Kirby.
Philly, Joe, and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly, Joe, and Kirby podcast.
Have either of you noticed more houses elaborately decorated for Halloween than ever before? Or is that just a me thing and maybe they've always been this? I just, in Transcona, it seems like more than ever, people went all out on the decorations, like the whole front yard being a cemetery kind of thing and inflatables everywhere.
I had this conversation with Christy the other day walking Stewie in the neighborhood, and I said the same thing. And I think because in my area, there's been a lot more younger families moving in with kids, so you see more of it. And I think how elaborate the listen, when I was growing up, you would be lucky if Dad made you rake the leaves and you put them in those orange pumpkin
Oh my God!
bags.
Yes,
and that was
we
it.
used to decorate with those too.
That was decorated.
You think Dad was going to let you spend money on a pumpkin so you could carve it out and leave it on the front? I don't think
God.
so. And then, maybe you could salvage the seeds and roast them.
We
now,
used to take like we had low end decorations back in the day. I'm telling you, like I think about this all the time. My brother and I making little ghosts with Kleenex. So we would like take a ball, like a rolled up, ball of like paper towel, put a Kleenex around it, an elastic, and then it would be like a little ghost, and we'd hang them from the tree.
Sure.
Yeah. And then we would use empty toilet paper rolls
100%
to create other things that we would, put up. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people like to go all out, but I don't know if it's like this year is more than ever.
I do. I believe so in my area. And because what you're seeing now is a lot more inflatables. Mm-hmm. And a lot. There's one house down the street from me that actually has, in lieu of Christmas lights, Halloween lights put up.
Yeah, we have that right down the street.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So I've noticed a lot more of the high-end inflatables and cemeteries and the cobwebs. And
are there any kids or any houses in your guys' area that does like an actual like haunted house thing? Because I remember like back in the day, there would always be like one house in my hometown that would do like they'd set up in the garage and you could like walk through and it was like a little setup thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple that really get elaborate and will scare the bejesus out of you by the things they have going. But listen, I'm 7 minutes from Boo at the Zoo.
Yeah.
None of us can compete at Assiniboine Park.
Right, nowadays.
Yeah.
We, inside the house, we're decorated. We have a couple of inflatables, but I did get rid of one thing that was in the house. It was a phone, like a scary phone. And so if you picked up the receiver, it would be like, ha, 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 like a scary voice telling you it's coming to get you.
Yeah,
but the stupid thing started malfunctioning, and it would go off in the middle of the night.
Oh, my God.
Like at randomly. And I'd be running around the house, half out of it looking. And so I eventually destroyed the phone. I'm like, this is leaving. I can't do this 2 nights a week running around the house looking for this phone and why it's malfunctioning. Oh, my God.
It's coming from inside the house.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.